We are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicinda. I am Chief Alchemist here at Plus One EXP, which is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard, and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our hope and desire is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games, and amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. We do that in a lot of different ways, but the most fun way we do it is just sitting down with those designers to learn how to play their games and play around in the weird dungeons they've created, which is exactly what we are doing today. We're playing WYRD Dungeon by Happy Jack Games. We've got Jeffery N, Baker, the creator and designer, here with us. Jeffrey, why don't you tell people a little bit about who you are, what you do, and tell us about those weird dungeons.
All right. Hello again. Yes, I'm Jeffery N, Baker of Happy Jack Games. It's Jack with just a K. Basically, we're just a small indie developer, single developer out of the Southeast, kind of outside of Atlanta, and mainly focusing on some custom games systems, but also we do support Cypher Systems, kind of one of our big games that we're working to produce some more stuff with. But our kind of a big thing right now that we're just now releasing is WYRD Dungeon, which uses the WYRD framework based off of disaster tourism. So give a wave. Disaster tourism released WYRD framework, and from a game jam about last year, it was a system I'd already been playing around with. It actually already kind of fit with the WYRD framework, made some adjustments, and that's where the WYRD Dungeon came out of. And the kind of base idea of WYRD Dungeon was I want to build what I called a mega mini dungeon. I want to be able to build a mega dungeon with the least amount of pages possible, and just kind of have rules that assist in that. So that has a lot of D66 lists that we use. We have 11 in the book that ends up being about 396 entries that you can roll on to build out a dungeon, level by level, room by room. Like, we do have rules for how big is this room. All right, roll some dice. It's this by this if you want to be that, if you want to use minis and that kind of stuff. But we also do theater of the mind. What I also love about this game is it can also be what we're calling GM full, where everybody at the table is part player, part dungeon master. So we can all have characters as well as rolling on the lists together and deciding what all of that means. Because the way the lists work is they're kind of just names. They're not mechanics behind it. We just kind of give those prompts to help you determine kind of the flavor of your dungeon and how all these things interconnect, because one level to the next may have very disparate names, and you have to figure out like one of the examples I give is why is the abhorrent chop shop above this like holy cathedral? Like, why are these two things next to each other? How do they connect? And that's the story the group gets to build and write together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait to play. I was going to kick it over to Kirby next because they created the WYRD framework, but the chat demands to know from Irene. Irene, is that a TTRPG battle jacket? Chat needs to know.
It sure is. So we've got GURPS. I've got a patch for my favorite live streaming show on here.
There we go.
And got quite a few of my favorite RPG systems represented back here as well.
Awesome. Love it.
Yes.
Why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and where folks can find you online, besides as the foremost TTRPG battle jacket model in the space?
Yeah, hi, my name is Irene. I go by Space Job on TikTok and Space Job RPG on Twitter. I make content talking about TTRPGs. I also work in marketing for Steve Jackson Games, and you can find me on TikTok at Steve Jackson Games and at various conventions wherever you can find Steve.
Awesome. Sweet. Now we'll go back over to Kirby. Kirby, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online?
Hi, I'm Kirby. I use they, them pronouns. I am the writer person at Disaster Tourism. We make lots of cool stuff. We got a lot of cool stuff coming out this year. I made the WYRD framework last year on which WYRD Dungeon is built, and I'm fucking thrilled with it. I think it looks amazing. I've read it, several times through now, and it's just super cool. So I'm really excited to actually get to play it. I also have something for Irene. Here's a patch I made that I need to send you in the mail.
Awesome.
Love it. Glad to have you with us. And we've got Ray also too. Ray, why don't you tell people all the things?
Yeah, sure. I'm Ray. I'm a game designer and streamer here on Twitch. You can find me on Twitter at Ray Olson, and you can find me on Twitch at Tankstein, where I play video games.
Awesome. Glad to have you with us also, too. We use a couple different rules to keep everything on track and keep everybody comfortable here at Plus One, because we play a lot of different games with a lot of different people, and we want everybody to be able to come to the table with the same types of expectations. So we use lines, veils, the X card, and something called the open door policy to keep everything straight on track and everybody comfortable. Lines are things that may happen in the world of our game, but they do not happen in the course of our play of it. They are fully off limits. The veils are things that may be handled within a certain context on stream. We might either just mention them and move forward, fade to black as they come up. We might only address things within a certain capacity, but basically those are things that may come up but only are touched on in certain ways. And then X is the ability for anybody to say or type X into the chat, and then we will pause the game, identify what the issue, and then move forward in a different direction, removing that content. It could just be because of confusion. It could be because you don't like something. If we need to update our lines and veils as we go, we will, because they're living documents. We have a strong line against sexual violence and sexual coercion on the channel, but we like to leave everything else open to a conversation because we think it's a normal conversation everyone should be having. So do we have any other lines or veils that we want to add to that list? I know that Jeremy, you sent out a great consent form beforehand that we laid some things out on. What are some of the things we saw on that maybe we want to call out as lines or veils?
Sure. So basically what personally I use the Monty Cook Games consent form, which you can find on their website. So let me just pull it up, and I'll pull up my own form here. I just gotta find it.
In all the chats. Does anybody else, while we're waiting on that, have any other lines or veils they want to add?
We could do a veil on child death or stuff like that.
Yeah. Which that is basically one of our biggest ones is no child harm is kind of one of the major ones for me. Basically a lot of the social stuff, very hard lines on what we do is just a red no on homophobia, transphobia, racism, those kinds of things. Cool. But pretty okay. Relationship stuff, I don't think that's really going to come up here, but we don't do really kind of like PC on PC romancing, not really something particularly interested in. Those are yellow, just like, you can kind of fade to black, whatever. A little bit more okay with PC to NPC relationships and those kind of things. Pretty much everything else, though, is a green. I don't can't think of anything else. If somebody else has anything they would like to add.
Awesome. We can always update those as we go as well if something comes up in play. We also use an open door policy, which means that we might need to step off screen, talk to someone off screen, eat, drink, do all the normal human things that normal humans do, because we're mostly normal humans in this stream. Will you be able to detect the abnormal human by the end? That's the real question. But if you're a normal human, you should do all those things and take care of yourself as well. If we need to take a short break, we will also too as we play, but we'll kind of play that out by ear. With that said, I'm going to hand things over to Jeffrey to kind of take us into the world of the WYRD Dungeon. I know that we are all going to be kind of contributing in different capacities. We're going to have you kind of take on that central role of guiding us through.
Awesome. Well, thanks for first of all for having me on this stream. It's been an amazing experience to have this idea and get to this point and being able to share it with everybody. So one of the key conceits of this is a prepless game. I have not done any prep prior to this. Everything we're doing right now, we're doing live in front of everybody, rolling 2d6. And we're going to find out what this dungeon is. And I'm going to be making up kind of monsters on the fly and the dungeon and all that kind of stuff and presenting the players with a world to interact in. Some things I want the stream to be kind of aware of. This is a very kind of OSR style game. So we just have 3 stats. You just got your vigor, you've got your beguile and your mind, and these control other derived stats. But it's a roll under system. So roll a d6. Hopefully you will roll under that stat to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And we'll learn about what those stats do as we play the game. Combat wise, when we get into it, there is no initiative. It's just we will flow with the narrative. Who wants to go first? Who wants to attack the creature? The creatures do not get around. They only attack when a player misses. So when the player misses, that's when they get a retaliation and start taking damage. Those are really the big things. And this is a classless game. You are who you are based on what you bring into the dungeon with you. And the name of the game is clear the level, get the loot, and get out. Because that's how you increase your character, is by the gold that you're able to extract from the level that you spend to increase your stats or buy magic items and all that kind of fun stuff. So,
and a lot of people are talking about how excited they are about the game. There is a link right down below Ray's face, ttrpg.link/WYRDDungeonGame. Gorgor, I saw you in the chat earlier. If you want to drop that link in live, because I know you have permissions for that, that would be great to help people navigate their way over. Check out WYRD Dungeon. It's live right now. You got 1 stretch goal knocked down. You got a couple more up ahead of us.
That's true. So the first one was basically getting a perfect bound version of the book. The next one will lose the perfect bound, but we get a spot UV. So the text and the image on the front are going to have that nice glossy look. If we hit the 3K top stretch goal, we get not only the perfect bound, but we get the UV spotting as well. So that's kind of what we would love to be able to hit, because I think it's just going to create an amazing product for everybody to have on their shelf. So
I love it.
Help us hit that goal. If not, hey, we're happy with where we're at right now. I can't be more pleased, to be honest, with this position. So the book's going to be printed and available for people to buy. With that said, are you guys ready? Is everybody ready?
Let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do before anything else is we are going to find out the theme of our first level. We have 2 tables of D66 lists. I'm going to ask the group, which table would you like me to roll on? Table 1 or table 2?
The left one. I don't know what that means.
It's a book. There's a left one. So table 1. Here we go. I'm going to roll on this. My red die is digit 1, so 53. What do we get? Okay. You are a group of would-be adventurers who have heard about a ancient temple called Wormgall's Temple of the Mighty. You know that it has recently become uncovered when a group of cabal of wizards have gathered together to resurrect Wormgall. But it went awry, and his fortress instead has just exploded up out of the ground. And now it is this, unlike a dungeon, we're going to go vertical with ours. It's going to be this massive underground temple that has been exhumed, and you are going into the first level, which is actually Wormgall's resting place. That is the first level of our theme. Now, you're not the only group that has heard about this. We have a number of factions that have also heard about this particular group or a particular area, and they too want to get in and plunder the depths of this place. So now we're going to, as a group, we're going to find the factions that are also vying for control. Factions are basically the number of players plus one. So we're going to have 5 factions that are all vying to get into this place. So who wants to roll the next D6, 2D6 to find our first faction?
You got it, Irene?
Yeah, 2d6.
Yeah.
It's
Two.
It's a D66 roll. So for folks who aren't familiar,
Oh,
you're going to
11.
take.
Oh,
Yeah,
11.
You're going to take the 2 numbers on the dice, and that's going to become ones that be your 10s, and one will be your 1s digit.
All right. 11. That is the Red Grins. That is our first faction. Now, Irene, I want you to roll just a single D6 for me, because you're going to find out their relationship with the next faction that we're going to roll.
2.
2. The Red Grins are bitter enemies with, and somebody else, let's roll.
Oh, let me
another-
do it. I want to do it.
All right.
46.
46. They are bitter enemies with the League of Last Rites.
Oh, hell yeah. Thought you were going to say League of Legends.
All right. And now give me another D6 to see what their relationship with the next group.
5.
5. But they're neutral with our next faction.
You got it, Ray?
Sure. It's a 1 and a 6.
16. The Steinot. And give me another D6 roll to find their relationship.
2.
2. And they're bitter enemies with, we got another faction.
Oh, it's me. I'm the one.
You're the faction.
17.
17. Another faction rolling into 17 shouldn't be a number possible.
You're right, because I looked at how things added up rather than how they did. Let me not do 16. Let's not do 16 again. I broke the game right off the bat.
You got to
Oh, no.
understand it's the +1 experience.
It is the +1 effect. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
36.
36. Okay, so they're bitter enemies with the Knights of the Dreaming City.
Of course.
Of
course.
Let me just get this stuff written down. And they're enemies with Knights of the Dreaming City. Okay, so that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4. We have one more. Let's Tony, if you could give me a D6 roll to find their relationship with our last faction.
I'm getting shit in the chat. Should I say 7 again? 2.
2. Wow, everybody is enemies. I love it. This is just
No one gets one group is like, they're fine. But
They're
I also
fine.
that group hates that other group.
everybody else. Their enemies. I'm going to roll this one. 65. The Scorned. So they're enemies with the Scorned. And then all I have to do is roll another d6 to find their relationship with the Red Grins. 5. They're neutral with the Red Grins. Wow, we really just stayed on 2 numbers. So people know you do have close allies. They could have a tense alliance. They could be masquerading as allies, but secretly spies for the first faction rolled. So we do have other options, but this is what we're going to go with. So these are the various factions that are going to appear throughout this dungeon. Because we're not doing like a full dungeon delve, I would roll on the factions appearance table to see who's going to show up and how many is going to show up on a given level. Because we don't have the time, I'm going to just choose. I'm not going to tell you all, but I'm going to choose a number of factions that will show up and decide a little bit later. And that's something you all will discover throughout this. Okay, so that's our factions. And then as the GM, I would then roll on this trappings table. I'm not going to tell y'all what that trappings is. The trappings table just gives us really cool little things to kind of round out the level. Things like mystical runes, or there's a glass floor. So there's like these little cool things. It's not just the name of the level, but what that level is going to look like, and those little fun things like that. And then of course there is the traps, which I will be rolling on. We have a table to list, how many traps show up on this level, and it increasingly gets the percentage chance of that happening goes up by 5% per level, so that by level 20 there's a 100% chance there will be traps on level 20. You're gonna get smashed, but in this case we'll see. I might just have some fun and just roll on the table randomly and see what I get for y'all. Okay, so let's now really dig into it. You're all in the hamlet of Bradia that is just outside of the Wormgall's temple. And you have a map that leads you up to Wormgall's resting place. I'll let you all take it from here. Bradia is just kind of a small hamlet. Think very classic Germanic, muddy roads kind of thing.
In Thrag the utility wizard just looks at the person next to him and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's worm goals. I'm pretty sure we're here to figure out how to live our life to the expectations of the worm goals that we find inscribed inside this too.
And next to you is standing in nothing but a loincloth and a linen cloak that is just actually a cape. Is Quintinus Curus Iulius Palindrome the Elected. And he sticks his hand on your shoulder and says, "Indeed, worm goals."
I keep on meaning to ask, who elected you?
Well, he's a Calvinist.
Gotcha. Okay, never mind. Totally explains it all. As he starts trying to present the 5 points of Calvinism, too,
yes,
we'll pan over to Irene's character.
So, yeah, behind you two, doing a really good job of maintaining a poker face and not reacting to anything that's being said, is a pretty heavy set butch, kind of build like a fire hydrant. Her name's Scarlet, but she goes by Scar. And she was the bouncer in the last town's tavern that y'all passed through, but the tavern got burned down, and she decided to take up
Wasn't me, I
adventure.
swear.
It absolutely was, but she hated that job. So,
is her last name Johansson?
Nobody's had the guts to ask her about her last name.
Scarjo.
And following up behind you guys is just a guy in a chain shirt and a very big sword. His name is Tad.
Very nice.
He's just following you around, though.
Are you all headed to worm goals? Hashtag worm goals.
Hashtag. We haven't determined what a hashtag is. It's just this weird symbol we keep on seeing scrawled across this temple.
Thatch tag.
Yes.
It's a price tag on thatch roofing. You are headed to the worm goals
Yeah.
as well. Shall we party up, as they say?
Proceed.
I've heard there's a lot of other groups going in here, and the one thing I know about all of them is that they mostly hate each other. So it might not be
Yes.
bad to have each other's backs here.
I watched 2 of the groups walk together, but they were fighting the whole way.
Well, if there's one thing I've learned, it's when to break up a fight and when to let them soften each other up first. So
Yes, and then also possibly when to let them burn your business down.
man, I really hated that job. It's fine.
Well, shall we? And Quentinus Curus Julius Palindrome the Elected will pick up this massive, that was otherwise before not seen, this massive crow's beak that is like 4 feet long in the head and like 7 feet long on the haft. And he just he'll holds it over his shoulder and starts marching, his little loincloth flowing behind him.
And Ray, chat does want to know, are you Winnie the Poohing it? Is your character is Tad just chain shirt, no pants?
Why not?
Okay.
Let's do it. But you can't see anything. The chain shirt goes low enough.
Good long haul break down to the thighs, right?
Yeah, so
No,
it's not like it's not
a crop
lewd.
top. It's got to be a crop top.
All right. Yeah, so you all probably are, compared to the rest of the other people going up to this worm goals resting place, this temple, are probably kind of late starters. You have your map, and it cuts through the Singing Woods. The Singing Woods, so named because the people of this village of Bradia have actually placed kind of these wind chime things to kind of, if you've seen very old movie, Prince of Thieves, those kinds of warnings of what's to come. So you're moving through this forest as it eerily sings. There is a low-level fog. And when you finally break through these trees and this tree line, there is a blackened temple just of jagged towers branching up. They don't seem to make sense in how these various towers connect to each other. You can see bridges connecting them up into the clouds, but some of them seem to almost be freestanding, free floating. It's almost kind of difficult to look at. In fact, I want everybody to give me a mind check.
All right, why don't we go ahead and not because we all know.
Sure.
But for the audience, why don't you go ahead and tell us what it looks like when we...
So mind check, in this case, we are going to roll a d6 and hopefully roll under their mind skill. And this will determine, in this case, what is their, does this affect them in any kind of way? Maybe for the following scene, maybe I'll give them some negatives. This is for me to kind of have some fun and decide what kind of weirdness this happens, because it's so off-putting to look at this thing.
Equal to or under, or just under?
Equal to or under is fine.
Okay, I succeeded.
I also succeed.
I blew that by a mile.
Does anything specifically bad happen when I roll a 6?
You die.
We could if we wanted to, but I think for this we'll be nice. For 2 of our intrepid heroes, the off-puttingness, it's like almost reverse vertigo kind of thing, like looking up and up and up. It just makes your stomach kind of quease and trying to understand this and piece everything together. So I'm going to say that your to hit for the next scene is going to be 1 harder. So all the enemies' hit dice will actually be lessened by 1, because basically you have to roll under an enemy's hit dice in order to hit them. And with their hit dice being lower, it actually makes it harder to hit them. So you're trying to kind of overcome that queasiness.
Cool.
You follow this trail up into the gates, which are already busted open. Clearly, someone has already been here before. As you come into this courtyard of a mausoleums and graves, it has that eerie kind of stillness and quietness to it, until you see this kobold come running out. A hyena-looking beast slams down on him, pouncing, breaking its back, grabs it, turns its head, and you just see it split, blood, gore. And this creature, this hyena creature, runs its hand over the blood that had just come out, looks to you all, and smears the blood across his face in a red grin. I see you've come to worm calls too.
Poor kobold.
I want to cast a very important spell here.
Okay.
I want to cast Illusory Band to get some good background music going for this moment.
All right. What kind of band do we have?
What?
That's fucking good. Because you could use that in so many different ways.
Oh my gosh, it's such a good spell. I just rolled randomly on the table in the back for my different and they're all utility spells. I can do nothing useful in combat. If I rolled a combat spell, I dumped it. So I'm gonna how do I cast a spell?
With a utility spell, we're not going to worry about, because you're not hitting anything. The utility spell, we're just it goes off.
Sweet.
We'll only need to worry about it if you're trying to use that utility to affect another creature.
Cool.
If that makes sense.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I am. I'm trying to get this guy to
on your side
to get a vibe. No, I just want him to understand the vibe of our party.
Yeah. I'm not going to worry about.
I know. All right, so they're gonna pop up, and whatever song chat says first is gonna be whatever music is appropriately or inappropriately playing in the background. As my illusory band pops into. Otherwise, it's the Cantina music from Star Wars is what's gonna be playing in the background.
It's gonna be Barbie Girl by Aqua.
It is Barbie Girl by Aqua.
Games.
Okay.
Starts playing in the background, but a non-copyrighted version of it. These are all elevator music.
Hey,
Of
Babby.
This would be a good time to talk about Sway, which is a derived stat off of Beguile. So one of the things that players have access to is an ability called Sway. This is actually a meta currency that you can spend to sway creatures on your side. Basically, you spend their hit dice and sway points to basically say, hey, you're on our team. We're friendly and that kind of thing. So it's a way for to help mitigate maybe random encounters that you don't want to run into, because one of the things about this game is there is no gold for random encounters. There's only gold from rooms. So trying to bypass room or get your gold without fighting is kind of a plus. So that is an option y'all do have, is Sway.
Cool.
I'm just gonna step forward and smash it in the head with my crow's beak.
Okay.
There's no sway.
Okay. Well,
not for me.
Sway this.
Sway this,
all right,
motherfucker.
It's confused by this band that pops up.
Yeah, it is.
And I'll go ahead and say you got a +1 to its hit die. Because I'll say, you know what, even though I didn't make Tony roll anything, it's still confused. It has no idea what's going on.
And I'm definitely doing this two-handed, so
okay. So what Kirby's doing right now is weapons have the ability, have various kind of functionalities that you can do. You can two-hand weapon. You can try to do a fast light attack. All these kinds of options allow you to alter and mitigate either how much damage you do or how easy it is to hit with things. So it's a really kind of fun system to kind of just be like, not only do I have a sword, but here's how I want to use that sword in this particular given situation. But all right, you're just two-handing Super Smash.
Super Smash, Crow's Beak. What am I rolling to attack?
You are rolling your melee aptitude.
Mhm.
Your melee aptitude is your vigor plus your armor modification, which I think since you're
me,
wearing linen,
Zero.
is a 0.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so you're rolling that to attack.
Okay. So D6
minus your melee aptitude, which is
Yeah.
0. So it's a straight D6.
So I rolled a 4 and my melee aptitude is a 3.
Okay, so that's right because you got that. Okay, so you rolled a 3 to hit this thing. Yeah, it's you smash into this creature. Go ahead and give me some damage.
All right. So
Come
I got
on, Barbie. Let's go party.
2d3 or 3d3 for this. So 2, 2, 1, so 5, and then an additional 3, so 8 damage.
Okay.
Yeah, if we can get a hype train going, I'll turn Chicken Piccata into Discourse.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how you do a hype train, so I have zero idea how that works. But if y'all can make it happen, I'll turn Chicken Piccata into Discourse.
Tell us what this looks like as you just brain this poor thing.
I think that as Tony, what's your character's name again?
Thrag.
Thrag. As Thrag casts his little big band of rendition of Aqua's Barbie in the background, this hyena thing like turns its head and does a little like weird dog head cock, and then I just step forward and say, "Quentinus Curus Julius Palindrome the Elected will slay you," and I just bury the beak of the crow's beak into its skull and like pin it into the ground, and I will say the entire name every time I say his name.
All right. Well, you all just see him return the favor from this kobold, this red grin delivered upon this kobold right in turn. When you do that, you actually y'all all hear like from around this entire area this cheer of voice of like all around.
The kobolds are now going to worship us.
Yeah, you don't see anything. You have this graveyard that you're in, and you have a door leading further into the temple. But you have more of this graveyard and these cheering voices all around you.
I've apparently created a problem in the chat that I should start ignoring. But I do owe chat Chicken Piccata Discourse later, apparently. Thanks, Gorb Gore, for giving out 1 million subs.
Tony, all you have to do is say that Chicken Picante is, or whatever.
I just could call it Chicken Picante instead of Chicken Piccata.
You could just say that it's really cool to eat that while you play Morkborg.
And that's Discourse.
And then you will start Discourse.
I think you should say you like it medium rare.
Medium rare Chicken Piccata.
Oh god, I like my chicken blue.
All right.
So what happened after Kirby slammed this thing in the eerie silence of just a off-brand version of Barbie Party plays in the background?
And
Barbie
along
girl.
with it are these like these cheers from these probably the kobolds in the area send up a cheer, and then it kind of goes a little quiet.
All right, y'all. That was a lot, really, really quick. Y'all just want to keep on going?
Yeah, can we please get inside the... That's making me queasy.
Yes, I believe we should.
Queasy like you ate some bad chicken piccata last night.
I believe I did.
I guess we go through the red face guy's pockets also too.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pick
Oh,
him up.
sure.
Pick him up on the crow's beak and like dangle him in front of Thrag so Thrag can root through his pockets.
Yeah, it's one of my mini utilities.
What are the
Remove valuables.
remove?
I'm gonna cast
Perfect.
a spell, remove valuable. Yo, that's a good spell idea though.
Yeah.
All right. So let's roll on this. The way this works is you're going to find a number of gold times the dungeon level. So everything in this game begins to increase based on which dungeon level you all are on. So I'm going to roll a D2 plus that. So that's actually, you find 4 gold, but I'm going to let everybody know I rolled on the trappings table. There's actually 50% extra gold for this entire level. So
Wow.
everything that happens has a 50% increase. So 4 plus 2, that's going to be 6 gold altogether.
I take, give one to everybody and keep 2 extra for the band. They don't work for free.
They're-
Tip your servers.
Are they truly illusory, or are they like some? Now I'm wondering if these poor.
They are truly illusory, but it's
ripped.
the same people the entire time, and they have names and there's complicated backstories and even mild forms of drama that will pop up repeatedly every time they perform.
I did see 2 of them kind of sneering at each other while they were
Yeah.
singing.
There's
They're-
some real drama going on.
Yeah.
So they're
in the
also a
background of this
telenovela. If
Yeah.
you really need to get
Tune
down
back
to
in
it.
next week for the Passiones de Passion actual play
Yes.
of the illusory band from this adventure.
I love it. Okay, so you move into this next room, and it is a antechamber to a massive mausoleum, and you see all of these symbols written and hatched all over this place. Yes, it does seem to actually be
Hashtag.
this scrolled hatching
Ooh, interesting.
all throughout this area, and it leads into on the walls as it peels down to the floor and goes to this central tomb that is resting in the middle of this room. And it's everything's kind of this black cobalt stonework marbling.
Hmm.
Room is
How
probably
dark-
about
how dark
50
is it
feet
in here?
high. How dark?
Yeah.
If you close the door, you're not going to be able to see anything.
I closed the door.
Okay. I have 3 torches in my pack.
Yeah, I'm
so
getting out my lantern.
I will strike a. Okay, if you are going to pull your torch, well, I'll probably strike a torch anyway.
Okay. All right. So you strike up a torch. Phoom. You all now, of course, can only see maybe 60 or so feet until it gets back into the darkness. And it's in this chamber. Somewhere in the distance.
It's great when you have a voice actor as your game master because then you know you're going to get quality sound effects.
Quality.
Quentinus Curus Julius Palindrome, the elected, will begin to walk around the edge of the room, dragging the crow's beak behind him. He will be attempting to be extremely stealthy. However, he is not aware that the crow's beak is extremely loud as he drags it behind him. So he's like doing one of these, but also just dragging this giant hammer on the stone floor.
So everybody just as he's walking around the edge of this room. What's everybody else doing?
You said there's like a tomb or something in the middle.
Yeah, all that hatching is like hatch marks lead up to this tomb in the middle.
I'm gonna take a peek at it. Is there any kind of opening or?
Yeah. So when you approach the tomb, it's actually a glass top, and I don't know if you've seen those Catholic like skeletons that have been like super ornately. That is resting in the middle in this casket, this glass casket. Gold. I mean, more riches than any of y'all have ever seen in your life adorn this skeleton. Rings with gemstones that are glinting magnificently off your torch. And you see that there's actually already been probably some scratch marks over the top of this glass. Someone's already been trying to get into this thing.
Any kind of hatch or button or way to maybe possibly open it?
Not that you can see. It's like airtight. This whole thing, as it's sitting, this glass case is sitting on more of that black marbling.
I guess Tad will shout over to our friend. You mind using that beak on this? Getting some get some jewels out of here?
What's your beak on this glass case? I'll be like, I'll stop. Well, is there anything else that I'm seeing as I'm circling the room? As stupid as I am literally actually looking.
Sure. So you see 3 other exits out of this room.
Okay.
Various little small doors going out of this room. And because the way WYRD Dungeon works, we're gonna do. There's a number of rooms per player plus 1, so there's 5 rooms altogether on this level.
Okay.
Which you have now encountered. You're on your second room of the 3.
All right. I will make a mental note of where these 3 doors are, since obviously I can't see them from, further away. And then I will walk back over, dragging the crow's beak behind me, and take a look at this glass case with Ray. What was your character's name again?
Tad.
Tad. That's right. Yeah, with Tad. And Irene. I'm sorry, I forgot yours as well.
Scar.
So that's right, because ScarJo. Okay, cool.
I know it's hard because the 3 of us picked really long, complicated names.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
and you picked such an easy to remember name.
Yeah, I know.
It's really not fair.
It's not my fault, to be honest. I just,
it's not my fault.
I play with difficult people, clearly.
Okay.
I don't want to smash the glass in until the rest of the group kind of approves of it. So I guess I'll just kind of wave my torch towards the lantern that Scar is holding and beckon.
Yeah. She's just gonna nod and be like, "You can do that. I'm gonna hang back here, though."
Yeah, I'm good over here.
Okay.
Does a band want in on this? Maybe.
I mean,
should we summon the band?
I absolutely cast Illusory Band again. They're back. I need chat to tell me what song they're playing. As you go ahead and roll, Kirby, and we'll find out what music is coming up in the background as you do this.
The seam of this casket, is it trying to figure out, is it that, a butted up kind of thing, that I can see, or is it almost flush?
It's I don't know if you've seen people that do where they'll take a stone and they'll do a resin on top of the stone and they shave it down. It's like that.
Okay, so there's not really a joint. I was thinking if I could use my crow's beak as a crowbar and stick the point into it. I'm gonna knock on the glass with my hand first.
Okay. You do.
And the band picks up.
And then the band picks up.
The leather coverings over this skeleton's skull flutter open, and these 2 white pupilless eyes look to you. Other than that, it doesn't move.
And then I tap on the glass again.
As it is trying to say something, but through the glass, you can't make it out. Other than that,
Okay, it doesn't appear to be hostile. I look at the other three. Should we leave it? Or should we you're telling me it's ornate like Mary Magdalene's skull, right? Like that is like a gilded spacesuit, basically.
Forgotten Martyr style.
Yeah. So I want that stuff.
So I am not that smart. But I do have a spell that I wrote down. Check age.
Oh fuck yeah!
From bouncing. Do I have to roll for this, or is that a utility?
Let's call that a utility.
Okay,
oh, perfect.
So,
that's a great. Yeah, Tony.
So I want to check. I want to check this guy's age.
How impolite.
How impolite.
Never ask a corpse its age.
I'm not asking. I'm trying to know with my bouncer sense.
Yeah, so
he's already in. You don't have to check his ID.
He's already in. Because this is a spell, not just like you're not trying to intuit this, right? You get this like mental backlash, and you probably all see Scar probably take a step back as you realize this thing is probably about 10,000 years old.
Oh, jeez. Is this Wormgoal?
On y'all's map, it says this is Wormgoal's resting place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably.
We should probably apologize. Apparently they were sleeping.
At this point, it lifts up its hands and
Hashtag.
God damn it. What have we done? I do the symbol back.
All right. You do that symbol back, and one of the lines in this room of hatches lights up, going from the casket up the wall.
Oh, we all have
And
to
you
hashtag.
And you all see several more of the three more of these. As you notice, you can get more light in here and it's kind of paying attention. 3 more of those lines.
I guess I do a hashtag also.
You do it and nothing happens again.
I go over closer near the thing.
All right. When you get closer to it, you actually realize now that there's more light from the runes, it's missing a part of its body. And these runes, these hatch runes that are on the ground, seem to not go up the wall, but out through one of the doors. Almost like if you're like at a hospital, right? Follow the red line. It seems to go somewhere else.
Which door?
So there are 3 more doors out of here. You have 1 on the north end and 2 on the west end, east.
And this goes out the west.
So the other ones, basically, you at this point, you're kind of looking at them. You basically have 3 more directions you can go to where these hatches lead out the other 3 doors.
The hatches that are lit up right now, they're going out the west door or the north?
They remain in the room.
Oh, okay.
So if you trace it up, you see they go up the wall and are kind of like glowing. They've lit something very faintly in the ceiling.
Okay. Well, it appears he's missing a piece of him. Scar, how old is he?
My head hurts. If I were to guess precisely, I'd say old as balls, but I don't know.
Balls are old.
As you hear coming,
I thought you were actually laughing.
I was trying to do a muffled
No, that was
hyena laugh. All of a sudden, echoes from the doors that you close behind you, Tony, and another one joins it in, and another, and you hear all of this cascading of hyena laughter.
Cool. I just want to cast glue on the door.
Okay. Perfect. As the door is starting to open up, and you all see pikes and wicked sabers and bloody red grins of these hyenas that are starting to come in, the glue glues up this door. And we'll say that probably lasts for, 10 minutes or so before it's going to.
All right, I bet that'll last for about 10 minutes or so before it doesn't work anymore.
No, you didn't.
We should probably go in the direction that the bright light is very obviously pointing us, or pick one of the other directions and just randomly wander that way.
The bright lights above you, it's in this room, and you have 3 more of those hatchings that are dark leading out of this room.
Oh, we're gonna go follow one of the dark hatchings.
All right, so you have a door to the north, and you have 2 more doors, east and west.
North.
It is. Okay. So you guys, go up to that first door, and it seems like it's a very small, like behind a altar, almost like a door for a clergyman of some type to use to come in and out of the area.
A narthex.
Do you want me to tell you? That would be a sacristy, not a narthex.
Oh yeah, right. No, you're right. I was thinking of sacristy, and I said narthex. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, we all knew exactly what it was.
We all knew.
So, yeah, we're gonna go into the sacristy.
Okay, who's gonna be first through?
Me, apparently. Drag.
All right. You are like, oh, we got to get out of here. Glue on the door. Throw that door open, and you all see as our good friend Thrag steps onto, it looks like, some very nice ornate carpeting, and that carpeting disappears as you fall straight down into a spiked pit.
Sweet. I have a question.
Yes.
About a lot of things. For magic, am I actually can I only cast the number of slots I have per delve?
The number of slots only caps how many spells you can have in this level. Yeah.
Cool.
So depending on what you pulled in, that's what you got access to.
Can I make a reaction to Thrag falling into the spike pit?
Absolutely.
I'm going to drop my crow's beak so he can catch it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a vigor. Vigor, what we are saying is this is all your INGs. You're running, you're climbing, jumping,
Swinging,
saving.
saving.
Yeah.
So your buddy has fallen into a spiked hole, and you were dropping the heaviest thing you're carrying directly on him.
No, I'm trying to swing it down so he can, or drop it down so he can grab onto the pole before he hits the spikes at the bottom. But I know that there's a risk of him just being hit by the giant spike on the end of the pole.
I think he's more trying to stab underneath me real quick.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm trying to scoop him like a big ice cream. Brag, ice cream boy.
All right, if you can roll under your vigor.
You
got it.
2 under 3.
Boom. So, Dragons, you see these spikes. All of a sudden, the friggin' crow's beak cradles you ever so lovingly.
And I lift you slowly up, and then I pat you on the head as I put you back on your feet.
Watch out, there's traps.
Yes, clearly. Is there a way around the trap, or is it just consuming the entirety of the floor panel?
Yeah,
in front of us?
you all have a nice little edging that you can kind of get around there.
All right, we gotta edge the trap.
Yeah, everybody can go around it. And you follow this small hallway with that hatching into, it looks like a small like chamber for a priest to do various sacraments and in preparation. There are gilded bowls here and various what's vestments are hanging on the wall all around you. And the chalice is probably too ornate, but drinking. I'm not Catholic enough for all this.
Chalice is just a word for cup. It's just a type of cup.
But they're ornate.
Cups.
Yeah,
I go over to the sacramentorium and I pull out a thurible and
there you go. But they're all glinting gold off of all of this, off of your torches and everything.
I'm gonna take a look at these cloaks.
Okay.
Are they better than the ones I'm wearing?
They're beautiful. And as soon as you touch one,
God damn it,
it like seems to inflate, and out from the arms and from the neck hole and the feet, this ghostly visage fills out this cloak of 3 more of these vestments. So 4 altogether, all fill out, and they seem to have, like pontiff kind of headdresses. And
what are those called, Tony?
Do what? The actual ones that are pointy? That's a mitre.
A mitre.
Yeah. So they're miters, and it begins to reach out.
God damn it! I just wanted a nicer coat.
Well,
so we are now in a.
You can get one.
You can get one. We are in a combat now, so let's. We're gonna say, I think that Quintinus, sorry, you're probably surprised by this.
Yeah.
By this action, so you're gonna go last. By this, so who wants to jump in? As this, you all see these ghostly priests fill out these robes.
I said there were traps.
You said there might be traps.
I
stealing Rat Girl games as jokes.
I'm gonna cast my basic magic attack using my magic weapon, which are rings that I wear on each hand, and I just go like and
finger guns.
And I had actually selected divine, which feels like the worst type of energy to be using against these guys. But I shoot divine energy over with my my finger guns.
And they do in fact have protection against divine. Yes. So for our viewers at home, every armor has what we call a protection array. It's an array of different protection types depending on what you're wearing. So the linen cloak, for instance, that Quintinus is wearing basically protects from all kind of magical damage, but it's going to take full damage from piercing, bludgeoning, and slashing. So different enemy types are going to have different protections and have different damage types themselves. If you've got the armor to protect against it, your armor protection will reduce the damage taken. All right. So give me an attack roll against this creature's hit dice.
Sweet. All right. Let's even though I know exactly how to do that, we're going to build it up for the audience. It's a D6. And I'm just trying to roll beneath my mind or lower. Is that right?
You do have your spell mod.
Am I doing my spell aptitude for this one?
Your spell aptitude, correct.
All right. And spell aptitude is determined by using my mind ability plus whatever type of armor I'm using, or minus that, correct?
Yeah. So basically, you add your mind plus your armor,
Cool.
and subtract that from your from a d6 to get your spell aptitude, right?
Okay.
And that's what you have to roll under.
Cool. I subtract it. So I sorry, mind spell plus armor, which I just have a cloak on also too, because I knew this was going to be my bit. So that's a 2 at flat, and I'm just trying to get a 2 or under. Then correct?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. I did not.
You go to sling out this spell, and you're so focused on the one that's in front of Quintinus, you did not realize there was another one rising up behind you.
Oh no!
As its hand wraps around your neck, and you just hear "Quintinus, and it's speaking some ancient, language from who knows when. And it is going to do 3d2 worth of damage. 3d2 plus 1 worth of damage. 1, 2. Sorry, yeah, 1, 3. So it's 4 points of damage.
Sweet, and that comes off of my vitality, correct?
That comes off your vitality, yes.
Excellent. And I'm guessing my linen cloak doesn't protect me against that at all.
Actually, it should. You should get a protection, I believe, divine off of
2.
the linen cloak.
Yes.
And so that reduces it by 2?
Yep.
Sweet. Aha!
Awesome.
All right. So if I was behind him, am I in a good position to be like, use my big ass hammer and smack that guy on the back of the head while he's going for
Yeah.
drag?
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to be a d6 against my melee aptitude, yeah?
Yep.
All right. And that's a 4, which is not under my 3.
Okay. You reach back for this hammer when up from the floor, like one of them sinks down from the floor. The cloak seems to just flop on the floor when it rises up out of and now has like a ghostly vestments on as it rises up and kind of rises up through you. 2, 3, 2. So 2's 4, 5, 6 points.
Gross.
Yeah. I hope someone brought healing.
My spells are muscle tremor and blood burn. Neither
All
of those
right.
I feel like are going to work here.
Ray, I think you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. I guess just swinging a sword at it. So we'll just go for that. It's a 2, which is under my. I think it's a 3.
Sorry, I've been messing up, you guys. You have to roll under the enemy hit dice.
Mm-hmm.
I've been like, wait, something doesn't sound right.
I was like, this seems hard. This seems harder than I thought it would be.
I was like, wait a minute, and
I
had to go
I
back.
just checked that because I thought you had also made a mistake, and I was like, wait a minute, you did.
Sorry,
I
y'all.
think you just
I'm so
misspoke
used to
earlier,
rolling
and
this
it's fine.
skill. I just
Yeah.
assumed.
All of that happens in Kirby's character's mind as things. Wait a minute.
And we see the hyena had just finished tearing the kobold's throat out in the front of them.
Correct. Whatever your melee aptitude is it's a d6 minus the melee aptitude against the enemy hit dice. So you roll a d6 minus your melee aptitude, and then tell me that number, and I'll check it against the
Then my attack was a 1.
Then that definitely did. So take your 6 points back. I'm writing another system, y'all. So you got to.
What about for magic, for spell aptitude?
Same thing. So it's basically you roll a d6 minus spell aptitude against the enemy hit dice.
So I would have had a 3.
A 3 hits it on the dot.
Okay.
So yes, you would have done it too. My apologies, everybody.
That's all right. We're all learning together.
It's also, Jeffrey, I just want to give you some encouragement here. GMing your own game on a stream is really fucking, nauseating.
If this were the
So-
position dice system, I'd be flying.
So it's totally fine.
Also,
right.
it's GM's Day weekend, so come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me some slack, everybody.
Yeah.
All right. So let's roll it back. Take everybody's hit points back. Tony, you did some damage, I believe.
Did I? Yeah,
Brag it.
Nope, I almost said the thing I promised myself I wasn't going to say when I came up with this weapon concept. Yes, I hit them with divine magical damage. I didn't do anything special to it. So I don't know what that does.
So basically, it would be if you look under weapon types,
Yeah.
you have a magic weapon, basically. And then you just choose. So it does the same thing as melee and range. So you're going to roll. If we look under. Sorry, everybody.
It'd be the same type of thing. It's just different.
Right.
So yeah, okay. So it's divine. These feel like, this feels like probably small. This feels small.
Okay.
I feel like I picked a set of rings that I wear on my fingers. I have very, very few justifications for anything besides small or ultra.
And for the viewers at home, one thing Tony could have done with magic weapons, he could empower them or twin them. So with empowered, he could forgo his turn, and on the following turn, add his mind to the damage on a successful attack roll, or twin them, which splits the attack amongst two foes, but the hit dice is lowered by 1 for each of the creatures.
So it makes them a little harder to hit.
Makes them a little harder to hit.
Cool. Yeah, I just do 2 damage then.
2 damage. All right. Yeah, the divinity of these things, it doesn't seem to quite do as much as you would have.
What if my god doesn't like their gun?
There's only one god.
Oh, that's true.
And it's Wormgoal.
It's Wormgoal.
Metal. And it's metal. Okay, cool. So you did that. Whoop. We jump forward to Scar.
All right. So I'm hitting with the big old hammer.
Okay. The one that's is trying to grab
Yes.
Quintinus. Okay.
Yes. And I guess that was a hit.
Yeah.
So, she won't sound like a total idiot if she's like, all right, you're cut off. And that's going to be, do I just roll damage?
So if you look at the type of damage, you would have picked what kind of weapon it is.
It's a melee. It's a large melee weapon.
Okay, so yeah, if we look at how much damage a large does, is a d6. So you're going to roll a d6.
Okay. That's a 1.
1 point of damage.
Uh-oh.
But it's this slicing seems to go through this thing. All right. We find Ray. We have coming up here. Ted, what are you gonna do?
I rolled a 2, and my aptitude is 5, so that means I have a -3. Is that what's going on?
So it versus their HD. So your melee aptitude is your vigor,
Right.
plus your armor modification. Your armor modification should drop that number. The more armor you have, the more protected you are, but the harder it is to hit things. So what's your armor modification?
I think it's a 2 from chain shirt.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So then it's just a -1, so it's a 1.
Okay, you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits.
Great. And that's 6 on the die.
Ooh.
Fuck yeah.
And that's also slashing.
Yeah.
There's some
Yeah.
beefy meat hammers in this crew.
Which one did you go after? There's 4 altogether.
I guess one of the ones off on the side that isn't
Okay.
being attacked.
there's one, it's got all of these like bangled bracelets, and it's starting to fly forward, and you just slice through this thing. You cut through the vestment in half, and it disappears and dissipates.
Nice.
All right. So now we're Quintinus.
Quintinus Curus Iulius Palindrome the Elected stumbles backwards, and the fray of battle precedes him. And then he decides that he's going to pull out his torch, which he was still holding, even though it's been like 10 minutes. And he's just going to rush after he sees Tad slice this cloak and the thing dissipates. He's going to rush the other one with the torch and stab at the cloak with the torch.
Okay, so we will call this basically fire damage medium, I think would probably.
Yeah,
does that sound?
Easy. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Having been hit with a lit torch before, that sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I have a 3-year-old. 2 minus 3, -1.
All right, give me some damage.
Okay, medium damage.
A D3.
Yeah, D3. That's right. 3.
Another one just. You hear the scream dissipate.
I was gonna wear that.
There's one on the floor still. All right, who wants to go next? Now it's free form. Whoever y'all decide. You've got 2 more of these things.
I'm gonna reload my ring and shoot another one.
Okay.
So that is a 2 this time.
2 will hit this one. Yeah.
And then I actually realized I do 3 damage because I forgot that my linen cloak does give me a bonus to spell damage, but
I do.
All right, 3 damage.
Yep.
The divinity seems to kind of, but it seems very hurt. All see kind of this like, divine energy kind of sparking up out of its shoulder where it sliced through. All right, who's next?
I will go again. I will then I'll drop the torch and just grab the other handle of my thing and swing the crow's beak towards the next cloak.
Okay.
Double-handed. I rolled a -2. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 damage.
Dissipates into nothing. There's one final one, the one I believe that Scar hit, or sorry, that
Thad?
Thrag, yeah.
Oh, Thrag.
Thrag, you with your magical, it's still sparking and it's looking around for who to consume next.
I'll take a swing at it.
All right.
That's going to be a 5.
5 misses.
Oof.
Yeah, it's sparking up, and you jump in for this swing, and you overshoot, and it reaches down, and as your defense, 2, 3, so 5, 6 points of damage, as it seems to like reach into you and kind of rattle your spirit.
Ouch.
All right. I'm gonna drop my lantern and take a 2-handed swing at it.
Ooh.
Beef it up, Scar.
Yeah. So with a 2-handed attack, any weapon of size medium or greater can be held in the 2 hands, and when wielding this way, it deals an additional 2 plus 1/2 vigor rounded down of damage. And you can't have a shield when you do this.
Yeah. So, all right, 1d6 minus my melee aptitude is 1.
That hits.
All right, and 1d6 plus 3 damage. That's more like it. That's going to be 8.
It rattles poor Tad and seems to almost like it's about to regain energy when slice straight through it. This room kind of dims a little bit as these ghosts all die, and you're now in this slightly darkened, a preparation area. And now that you're all kind of, you see there's a stained glass window here pointing to the outside with that hash on it.
Jack Dorsey. I knew he was responsible.
Before we check out the window, I'm gonna check out these gold chalice cups.
Oh yeah. They are wonderful gold chalices. It looks like they are going to be worth significant
room.
Yeah. Basically, y'all are loot the room. And I will get you
Shout out to Chris Bissett.
So we are going to roll 3d6 plus the dungeon level. So 6, 7, 8. So 9 plus another 50%. So 14, correct? 14. You think they're going to be worth about 14 gold worth of treasure and haul. Now, when you pick up these items, I'm going to say there are 4 items altogether between these chalices and bowls. Each one of them is going to take up 1 load slot. So if y'all look on your backpack, everybody has a certain amount of load, how much you can carry. And eventually, if that load gets filled up, you can't carry anymore.
And that's a derived stat. We all know how that stat is derived, but why don't you go ahead and tell us for the audience?
All right. And that basically that is your vigor plus 10.
Okay.
Is your how many load slots you have.
Which is why mine says 13.
Yeah. So eventually, every 100 gold pieces, if you found like a chest, is a single load slot. So depending on the higher levels, you might have to start making decisions. Do I keep these 3 torches, or do I drop it to carry this haul out of here?
Yes.
And things like that.
I will be investigating these cloaks. One of the 3 that is not burned to a crisp. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very nice vestments.
Can I wear it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can it will it be considered a linen cloak as well?
Yes, it would be considered a linen cloak. Yeah.
Will it give me anything additional, any kind of additional bonus, or would it just be the same?
At this time, no.
Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna put it on anyway because it's definitely nicer.
Oh, 100%.
Mine is ratty, and I probably has some food on it or something. So I'm gonna take mine off and put this on.
You put it on, it's moth-eaten still, but still better than yours, right?
Smells of mothballs.
Oh, yeah. In ancient decay.
Yes.
All right. That is, so you loot this room, and really the big thing, the significance, is that stained glass window.
Light is coming through the stained glass window, and if so, is it light from outside the dungeon, or is it light from within the dungeon?
It's hard to tell because of the stained glass. Like you might have to punch through that stained glass to find out. But I'll say, because of how y'all entered, it doesn't make sense if it were light to come from outside.
I'm going.
But okay, I was going to say, but for those that kind of had their mind bent, it doesn't mean it can't be light.
I give it one of these first to just see if it if it opens.
Boom, boom. You do that in front of that window, and the symbol lights up. That line lights and goes and out the room.
It's like casting guidance in Dark Souls.
A voice from somewhere goes, "What's that?"
Yeah. Follow the yellow hashed road.
All right. If y'all all leave this room, you go back out and you see that line has made its way to that tomb and is lit up, and there's a light now, another light above in the ceiling
Ooh,
These lights are kind of pointing down towards that glass sarcophagus.
Nothing bad will come of us continuing.
I'm gonna
light
roll
these
to see
things
if
up.
Quintinus Curus Julius Palindrome the Elected actually understands that this is part of a puzzle.
Yeah, roll
I
your
do.
mind.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it seems like all right. If we light these, clearly, if we light these things up, they are going to do something.
How is the door doing?
Doing okay. It didn't take too long for y'all to fight those ghosts and basically swipe your arm across the table into your bag and be like, all right.
And then give the ancient sign of the hashtag.
Yeah.
What kind of door is it again? The doors that has been glued.
Yeah, these are like, double doors, arched double doors.
Do they have large handles on them?
They do.
Okay, I have a 10-foot chain that I brought. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but as I see the glue is starting to stretch apart even more than it was before, I'm gonna rush over and like lash the chain through the large handles and use my crow's beak to like twist the chain so it closes the doors.
All right.
And then once it's like all the way twisted, I'm gonna loop the chain up a bunch to keep it from being pulled apart.
I was gonna ask for a roll, but that description is great. So if this thing's gonna hold, it's gonna take y'all some work to get out.
Okay.
You just
All I
sticks
gotta
the
do is
crow's
be
feet back
wordy
in
and I
and
can
flip it the other way.
Yeah.
All right.
Do y'all gonna go east or west?
Scar, why don't you pick? I feel like me and Thrag have been talking a lot.
I do too. That's why I asked the room.
Scar's gonna just shrug and be like, left. And then just start walking.
Given the options, I think that's west.
It is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's west.
Okay.
It is indeed west.
You head west, and this is a large hallway. There's no doors to this. You just kind of go into this darkened hallway, and it seems to get darker and darker still. Your torches begin to get smaller and smaller, the area that they're able to penetrate, until eventually they snuff out. You can still feel the heat from every single one of these, of your torches, but you can't see a thing.
Once that happens, if we like hold them back a few feet, does it light back up?
Yeah, if you back up a little bit, they come back on.
Okay.
I'm gonna set my lantern down at the edge of where it's lit, so at least I know how far we've got into the bad.
Such a smart move.
All right. Okay.
And then hold my big ass hammer with two hands.
Okay. You go back into the darkness. And it's one of those, I don't know if anybody's been in like just total it's really unnerving how you don't know how big the room is. If you even put your hands out, you haven't felt edges yet, or walls or anything like that. It is just.
And were there walls when we started?
There were, yeah. In fact, where Scar's lantern is, you can see walls, but past that point, you don't see anything.
Okay.
Quick recap, because I had to say goodnight to my daughter. 5-word overview of this room.
The tunnel that we're in is covering up our lights with unnatural darkness the further down we go.
I love it.
And we can't see the walls anymore.
Okay.
What's the name of the village we're from?
Bradia.
Y'all remember that Hands Across Bradia event we did a while ago? What if we try that?
Yeah. I do remember that. It was for the children in Talistan, right?
Remind me how that one went.
Well, we all held hands and we we went across the entire town. I mean, the reality is the town's pretty small, so only about 20 of us had to hold hands, but everybody else showed up and kind of cheered while we were doing it.
And
Right,
we
I remember
raised
that,
we
says a
raised
voice.
money for a local troop.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a good day, says a voice.
I would leave our hands.
I was
tied
about to be like, who the fuck is talking, Jeffrey?
would leave our hands tied up. Do y'all want to use my 10-foot chain? To
Oh, I've got a chain.
Oh, I'll take it.
We could.
who is that?
Well, it's me.
Right, give me the chain.
Right, here you go. And a chain drops into your hand.
Do you have any light?
There's light up ahead. Follow me.
I don't know if I like this.
Hey, before we go
The
any
chain-
further, before
The
we go any
chain tucked
further,
in your hands.
I'm holding on to it.
Yeah. Drag
Look,
it.
Before we go any further, I do need to remind you, you did say that you would give me 20 gold the next time you saw me. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Well, when we get out of here, I'll give it to you. We'll
No.
split up the loot.
You said the
No,
next
no,
time.
no.
Well, you said the next time we bumped into each other.
I remember this as well, and you said the same to me.
Both of y'all need to roll beguile.
I was gonna ask if we could roll beguile because
Yeah.
I was ready for some of that.
Or if you want to spin sway, if you think you've got the sway points.
I mean, I haven't spent sway yet. I'm gonna go ahead and just spin sway.
All right. How much you spent?
How does this? How much do I need to like? What
You
is, how does it
are
work?
gonna. This is kind of a poker game.
Okay.
You are gonna say I'm fronting this much sway.
I'm also gonna spend sway, so can we like go in together on it?
Yeah, you can combine it.
All right, I'm gonna spend 2.
I'll throw 2 out also.
All right, yeah,
Four
we'll throw
altogether?
2 in the ante.
All right. 4 sway points. All right. You feel both of y'all feel gold get pressed into your palm.
Fuck yes.
And but there is no heat. You know, like you would expect heat from a hand.
Yeah.
There's no heat. It's just gold.
Cool.
Wait, hold on. This is only 10 gold. It's 20 gold.
Don't try that on me. You know I'm good for it. Come on, look, we gotta get old worm goal risen up. Let's get this going. Come on.
Do you need gloves?
No, I got gloves.
Okay.
You hear like crab or what do you call them? Lobster
Crab
claw,
claws?
like lobster claw gauntlets.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, I rolled a mind check to see what my vibe is on this, and it was a 6 to my 1. So anyway, Scar's just like, this is a really cool coincidence that y'all ran into your friend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a good friend. He was at my mom's wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not met.
No, I don't think so.
I'm Sementinus.
Cool.
Sementinus. Yes.
Yeah, I'm Quintinus's cousin.
What are your other 4 names and your title, Sementinus?
We don't have time for all that.
Quickly.
Quickly.
Seventinus Paradia, the 7th of Yarnheim.
Very good, very good. I believe we can trust this one.
Sounds legit.
I'm gonna roll
Somebody
a
in chat
beguile
remember
check
that?
for myself to see if I trust this guy now. I do.
How is Tad feeling about this situation?
He's going along with it for now.
Yeah.
Out of sheer nosiness, though, just trying to get to know her like new squad. Scar does want to know how old this cousin is, and is gonna try to check age.
Okay. I will ask for a check because you're vaguely aware of where the voice is coming from. I would say you'd probably have to see it. So let's ask for just a spell aptitude.
Okay, so I'm trying to roll under that 2.
You're trying to roll under its hit
difficulty.
dice.
Oh, so I'm rolling the d6, subtracting 2, and turning it under.
Yep.
I rolled a 5, so -2 is 3.
3.
Mhm.
You get nothing. You know that you've You succeeded.
So it doesn't have an age.
Yes.
Okay. Weird.
Very weird.
Somebody who's internalized the fact that age is just a number.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Come on, man. We're all young at heart.
Oh, and I mean, I'm 100% walking with this guy as we're going. Like, I want to be very clear. We've been
Okay,
walking during this
okay.
time.
Oh, you all are following?
I mean,
Yeah.
I have been.
Yeah, I'm following. I'm not
Yeah, same.
suspicious. I'm just confused.
Okay.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Suspicious. In that case, Scar, if you'd probably glance back at one point, and the lantern, y'all have been walking.
Yeah.
The lantern does not seem to have moved,
Cool.
but you could definitely feel that you've been walking, like in a straight line. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Is anybody hungry?
Yeah, I could eat.
No, I
Oh,
always
great.
eat before I leave.
Oh, great.
Uh,
I've got enough rations for everybody. And you hear rustling in the pack.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Does anybody else have any torches lit or anything?
Oh, everybody does. Oh, that was one of the things. The
Okay.
torch that you had with you, you still feel the heat coming off of it. It just does not.
And it
emit
got
any
darker
light.
the further away we got. Which is
Okay,
why
that's what-
Scar
okay.
dropped a lantern.
Okay. I'm going to reach out and touch face, and put my hand on his shoulder where I hear,
Sure.
like, kind of like I'll take some rations, and like kind of grab his shoulder.
All right. Give me a melee aptitude.
2.
2. You hit this thing, just got a friendly touch, and you feel like desiccated flesh, bone, and that kind of squish of rotting flesh beneath your hand.
Hmm.
And it goes,
I keep my hand on
Give me
him.
a light damage roll.
Oh,
He really wanted that 10 extra gold that he owes him.
yeah. Small or medium? Sorry,
Small,
damage?
because
Yeah.
it's just your hand, right?
Yeah. 1.
Okay. And it scuttles back. You all feel the chain kind of pull. I'll just give you the stop.
I wasn't trying to hurt you, my cousin. I was just trying to give you a friendly pat on the back. It is I, your cousin, Quintus Curius Julius Palindrome the Elected. Are you all right, brother?
Don't touch.
What's happened to your voice? And mine, apparently. I'm British now. What the fuck?
Just follow me. As the chain tugs once again.
Oh, I don't like that. I'm gonna pull back on the chain this time.
Okay, give me a vigor check. We're gonna see.
Why is this
You doing
person
a tug of war?
rushing me? Why are
Do
they
what?
Oh, go ahead.
Scar, what were you saying?
I was saying, are we doing a tug of war?
Yes.
War with a corpse.
I rolled a 2. This is just normal vigor check. So I rolled 2 of me.
Under your vigor, yeah. You rolled a 2.
Yep.
And your vigor was a 3, right? Okay. You are able to withstand, but you all kind of feel that pull. And this time, before it felt like a normal kind of like humanoid strength kind of pull. You are able to withstand almost like a tiger doing just a quick little jerk. Not a full-on pull like a tiger would, but just as it pulls on that chain. Come on, we gotta go.
I mean, what's the rush?
We gotta raise Wormgoal.
Yeah.
This way. Chunk. Pulls a little harder. And this time I want everybody to give me everybody holding onto the chain. I'm assuming everybody is, but if not, you don't need to.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Melee aptitude or
Vigor. This is just a vigor check.
Also a 1.
2. 2 under 3.
All right.
You got a 3 on a 3.
All right. So everybody's withstands it. You're kind of maybe expecting a little bit, but it pulls a little bit more. This way.
Wait, I think I forgot something back here. I don't want to get lost, and so I'm going to start pulling the chain the other direction.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and give me a vigor check to see if you can pull against this thing. And yeah, we'll just do a vigor check. Be good.
2 under 3.
2 under 3. You're starting to pull, and you all can feel how hard it is to kind of pull this thing in the opposite direction. And now you hear like metal grinding against stone. No, we gotta go this way.
Well, yeah, but I told you I forgot something.
This way. And
I'm gonna let go when it does that.
Okay, you're gonna let go.
Yeah, like at the end of the charity event, we all just let go of each other's hands.
Exactly, just like that. Who's all holding on to the chain?
I don't know. Do you say that out loud, Tad?
Yeah, I think so. Like, remember at the end?
That's such a
the charity event?
That's such a great dumb. I don't think I fully let go, but I let the chain run through my fingers at that point in time.
All right.
Question.
Yeah, also loosening the grip, but not dropping completely.
With the when I touched him, you said it was desiccated.
Yeah.
But was there like squish to it when I?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to get too technical, but
it's actually relevant, Tony, because of my spells. so don't start.
It think of it. I don't know if you ever had like a chicken wing where you had the tendons and you kind of that kind of feel,
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna cast. I'm not gonna let go of the chain. I'm going to. This chain is 10 feet long. I know because it's the same chain that I had. That Scar had. So I know the approximate distance and I know exactly where he is based on the direction the chain is pulled taut.
Okay.
So based on that and my brilliance of having a 2 mind, I'm going to cast Muscle Tremor on this guy.
Okay. Because of the darkness, I'm just gonna add a +1 to their hit dice, I think.
Okay. All right, so we're going
or -1 to their hit dice.
I rolled a 3.
A 3 still hits.
Yes. That's 4 damage.
Okay. Describe this spell to all.
Basically it just
Describe what we don't see in the darkness.
Yes, describe what we don't see.
It's important for me.
Yeah, it basically causes all of the muscles in the body to stiffen and start to like shake. Like I don't know if you've ever had that weird like your arm just twitches but constantly for like an extended period of time.
Okay. Beneath everybody's feet, you feel the floor tremoring beneath your feet. As it's because the floor is spasming beneath your feet.
Oh, that's great.
The
So
floor
once
muscle,
we feel that happen and the chain kind of goes loose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, do you remember that race we ran afterwards at the charity event? And just
sure, yeah.
grab back down and start hauling this thing as much as we can back towards the light.
Okay. You're running. Is everybody
I don't know.
doing
I said what I said. I don't know what
I listen to instructions. It's all good.
All right. I'm not gonna worry about the roll. This thing's trimming. You all pull on this chain, and the darkness seems to almost fold in on itself as you are pulling this something in the darkness, almost like it's connected to a piece of black cloth. as it folds up. You all bring it into the light, and the blackness begins to char and burn. And you see bits of flesh and bone, not in any kind of way that makes sense. It's not in a form of a creature. It's just like you've turned something inside out.
Ooh.
And you had walked into its bowels, and it just chars and burns as you haul it into the light.
So we've prolapsed this man.
Yes.
Is what you're
Your
saying.
cousin.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've ever prolapsed something in an RPG.
That's the
I'm
first.
not gonna-
Yes, this is also my first time prolapsing someone.
Hey, there's our first time for everything. Yeah, so and it burns up, and basically teeth and hair like fly by you and clatter on the ground. And as it burns away, you look back and basically see a almost like a baptismal bathing area that you would cleanse a body in. And it's way smaller than you all ever walked and moved around. It's just this small little room.
Just walking around inside that guy for a little while.
Yeah.
And my cousin.
I go to the edge of the
Y'all still
wall.
have that money?
I checked
They
the
do
box.
still have the money.
So it was real. Cool.
Oh.
Yeah, because I definitely thought this was some sort of weird shade thing, not something we were walking around inside of that probably just had the stuff of a billion adventures inside to lead us deeper into it. It's very good. I'm gonna go up to the font, and I'm going to toss up, the old hatch tag.
Yeah. The water, and as you walk up, the water is glistening. It's not stagnant water. It seems to have a small kind of rip, a wave to it. You can see to the bottom of the pool. That's where the hash has been inlaid into the bottom of the pool. You do that, it glows when that line goes back to the central chamber. And you also see, in this room, some various little gold statues seem to be dedicated to Wormgoal. 6, 10. So you collect them about 15 gold worth of stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, I will take my old cloak that I have tucked away in my loincloth, and I'm gonna loop it into like a little sack. And
Yeah.
Your old cloak that you have tucked into your loincloth?
yeah, because it's like a belt. My loincloth's like a belt.
And I'll say,
I don't understand what's wrong, Tony.
I interpreted that as like cartoon pocket. Hold on, let me reach down into my loincloth and pull out a large rope.
I just reached down the front of my loincloth and pull out this giant cloak. And
He's got a
You want
Holocaust
another
cloak.
cloak tied to that one, but it's a different color, and you just keep.
yeah, just keep pulling them out.
Excuse me.
My mind isn't that strong.
And I would say altogether, that's going to be 4 load worth of treasure
Okay,
to distribute amongst your group as.
I'll take a load.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we just got the east this time.
Yeah, you got one more place to go to.
Let's do it.
All right. You all come back to the central chamber. There's the main door is being just hit. And
We're gonna have to figure out what to do with them when we're done.
Oh, don't worry.
Okay.
yes, because the only way for those playing at home to reset your resilience, to reset your spells. You can't reset spells or change out their spells once you enter the level. You have what you have when you come into it. The only way to reset those is by going back to town. and spending money and resting and getting your resilience back and those kinds of things. So yeah, you've created something for yourselves. Okay. You all head back down to this other chamber, and you're walking down this chamber, and you swear you're hearing organ music. Silent organ music. Very melodic organ tunes as you're approaching these double doors that have, very stripped down corduroy kind of fabric that seems to have been scratched and ripped, that had been stuffed to kind of give these doors like a plush little fabric feel to it, but it has been scratched and torn and ripped up. So that stuffing is sticking out of the door. But that music is coming from behind that door.
I will take some stuffing.
All right. 10 load. No.
God damn it.
It's the heaviest stuffing in the world.
I'm going to take a load worth of stuffing.
That's a lot of stuffing.
You take the door.
Well, you know that I kick open the door and I cast Thunder Crack at the same time.
That is an entrance. Beautiful entrance. Okay.
What do I see?
You have entered into a large, theater hall, but ornately designed, with all of these motifs dedicated to Wormgoal. And in here, the pillars are like these elongated versions of the creature that you see in the sarcophagus, like circling them all up and down through here. And they're holding this staff that you didn't actually see in him holding before in the sarcophagus. They all seem to be carrying these things. And at the far end is this organ, and you see just from the back a very large creature at this way too big organ. And the music now doesn't seem to make sense. It doesn't go together. It's all dissonant, and I need everybody to give me a mind check.
So my thunder crack spell doesn't do anything to disrupt the music or the flow or attract the attention of this individual.
That's a good thing. Give me a spell aptitude check against its hit dice. Let's see.
So I'm rolling a d6 and I'm subtracting my spell aptitude from that, and that is a 0.
Ooh. So instead of needing to require this, as it slams its hands down on the organ, and it stands up and turns to you all, and you see one set of arms turn back, another set of arms turn back, one set of legs, kind of swiveling around the chairs. It's got 2 sets of legs, 2 sets of arms, and seems to be this amalgamation of 2 people that had been playing this organ, potentially trying to both play 2 different songs at the same time and kind of fighting each other. And it turns around to you all and says, Who dares interrupt the song of Wormgoal, the ever melodic song of Wormgoal?
Oh, just 1 second. Hey, we didn't really come up with like a working name for who we are, did we?
No, I was just going to say it was you.
I mean, I guess I could go with that.
It was Thrag.
And the squad.
Thrag and the squad.
Thrag and the squad.
And I point at Thrag.
And I point at the squad.
Which is the band.
Yeah, which is the illusory band pops back up and I point at them and the squad.
And the band is called Thrag and the Squad. Yeah.
Thrag and the squad. There's just a sweet bass. All right. You will pay for interrupting our song.
How much?
With your life.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
And I go, which is how I activate my guns. My guns also too.
Finger guns are the best.
For this, y'all are all standing outside. Nobody's entered in yet.
Mhm.
I mean,
Okay.
I kicked open the door, so I probably am on the threshold
Okay.
or a step inside the room.
With one set of arms, it grabs the cloak it was wearing and tosses it off, and it's just this like somebody tried to put a body into another body in the CG program, and they're kind of in the same space. The rib cages are moving at different, breathing at different paces. It just gives this whole body this weird undulation. And while one set of arms pulls back the cloak, the other one pulls out that staff. And now you see that staff is dangling from it is the leg of Wormgoal that it was missing inside this sarcophagus.
I turn around to Scar and Tad and I say, I think we need that leg.
Probably the staff too.
I guess so now that I know that
part
there's
of
a
the
staff.
picture,
Yeah, for sure. You want to huddle up with us here, Thrag? Have a little game plan.
Okay.
Bring the band.
I'm game for whatever.
Yeah. You all go back on the other side of the fog gate.
Yeah.
All right, now that we got to look at that thing.
Put our summon signs down.
Yeah.
Extra life.
Oh,
I gotta read the wiki on this boss real quick.
Praise the sun.
There you go. Wormgoal, praise the sun.
Yeah, I mean, I think we see me like cock my finger guns, but they don't go off immediately. I am going to use Empower, I think, on this.
Okay. If y'all don't immediately go in, as the larger of the two is like waiting for you, the other set of arms like crack backwards, go to the organ, and begin playing again.
Is the organ attached to these people?
No, it's still standing in front of it.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
Yeah, so it had they literally were like fighting over which song they were playing.
Now tell me something, Jeff. I'm going to be really pedantic here.
Yeah.
Since it's an organ, would it consist of muscles?
No.
Different type of organ.
Damn it. All right.
I want to try and hit the one playing the organ with pacify.
Ooh. Okay.
To
Is
at
your
least,
spell pacify?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're go ahead.
Yeah, no. Give me a spell aptitude roll against its hit dice.
So I rolled a 1 and my aptitude's a 1, so it's a 0.
All right, that hits. And assuming the pacify just, we'll say for at least I'll give it 2 rounds, two goes through all the group.
Sure.
That it won't do anything. It just kind of the arms just drop. The larger one and begins stalking down, making its way towards you all.
Probably should have done on that guy actually.
It's fine.
I'm gonna. Oh, wait, I already empowered. That's all I'm doing.
I am also going to empower.
All right.
I'm gonna stick my hand out and just stand there.
Okay, so
And
they're
it's gonna
both
look like I'm not doing anything.
right. So both of y'all are forgoing your turn to do extra damage next turn. Scar.
Is there anyone nearby, or is it just the big guy coming at us?
He's just coming at y'all.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna wind up with the big old hammer.
You want to move in and attack?
Alone?
It looks like I think Thad getting ready.
Yeah.
All right. So Thad and Scar, what are y'all doing?
I guess I'm gonna go in with a sword.
Yeah, if more than one of us are going in, then I'm going in. But
Okay.
Yeah,
Gar likes to stick to the numbers.
sure.
All right. So which one do I want to go first as you move in to confront this like 9-foot tall amalgamation of these two people?
I guess after casting, I'm gonna let Scar go first.
Okay. I'm gonna take a.
Oh, that's right. So you
swing.
did. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Scar.
It's all good. Yeah, take a swing with my hammer. I guess like around shoulder eye level to me, so about middle level to that thing. And that's gonna be 6 minus 3 is 3.
That misses.
Okay.
You go to swing your sword. I wouldn't say it misses so much as it just like, because of this its weird flesh, it doesn't quite get through.
Mm-hmm.
And this creature basically just pulls up a massive meaty paw and goes to backhand you. Where is
Backhanding is so like offensive.
it's super offensive. We will call this 3d3.
So nothing. You got it.
Do what?
So nothing. You got
So
it.
basically, no damage. Yeah.
Yeah, no
Basically.
damage whatsoever. 2, 3. Sorry, the D3s always mess me up. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5 points of damage. Smashes into you. We must play the song.
Okay. And that's 5 points of what kind of damage again?
That is off your vitalities, which should be your vigor plus 10.
But what type of damage?
Yeah, what type of
Oh,
damage?
bludgeoning. You're right.
Okay,
You're right.
because
I'm
I
sorry.
have armor.
Thank
which I
you
think-
for
The
keeping me
person who
honest.
wrote this game made it so that it's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors, and depending on what type
Yeah.
of damage being done.
So
Depends on-
I'm wearing a chain shirt, it looks like.
Does say bludgeoning.
Oh no, I'm wearing a leather tunic actually. So that doesn't help me against
That
bludgeoning.
does not.
So I'm just
Boo! Should have just lied.
so 5 coming in.
I'm wearing dragon scale.
All right. So 5's gonna knock me down to 7.
All right. So that's it. Top of this. Let's start with our empowered folks.
Tony, I feel empowered to go. I'm gonna cast a blood burn, which is my other spell, my empowered spell on this large man. So let's go. Yeah, we got. Oh, that's a D3, not a D6. Let me roll my D6. Oh, -1.
Oh, -1 will hit.
I'm very
Dang it.
curious what Bloodburn does to a skeleton.
I'll tell you. Well, he's not an entire skeleton.
He's
right?
like this, like people. He's like a flesh
Oh.
monster. Like
yeah.
He's soiling
I
grain.
thought they were
He's Godric
skeletons
from Elden
also.
Ring.
yeah,
Got
Godric the Grafted.
It's got blood.
he's got blood.
All right, so I did two damage plus my sorry, I somehow lost the fucking booklet here. I had it open and then it disappeared. Oh shit, there it was. Fuck, I just closed it. How much extra damage do I get with Empower?
Empower.
So I think Empower increases basic magical weapon attacks. So
You add your mind.
You spend more spell slots to
Right.
do
Yeah.
whatever.
that's-
So
well, the attacker forgoes 1 turn. On their following turn, add your mind and damage to the successful attack roll.
Oh shit, I was thinking of
yeah.
something else. Hold on. I had the book open and then I was doing something else while I was looking at something else and then I fucking forgot. One
But you
second.
can't just spend more spell slots to increase
Yes, that's I
damage.
think what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
They too as well. Yes.
Let me just double check this. I'm gonna find. Here it is.
If that's what you brought in.
WYRD Dungeon. Oh no, the spell is what I brought in.
Yeah,
I'm just
so you can't, once you bring the spell in to the level, you can't increase its damage. Like, so if I had like a ray bolt,
You're not burning it in the moment. You're deciding to give it more slots of load to increase
right?
its ability.
So
Gotcha.
empowered is a way to kind of artificially bump the damage for a
Right.
turn.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I see. Empowered and Toyed is only for magic weapons, not for magics. I gotcha.
Yes.
All right. Never mind. I'm just gonna cast it. 2 damage. Blood
2
burn.
damage. What kind of magic? What kind of damage is that magic? Fire
What?
sounds like maybe.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know.
Could be necrotic.
Well,
which isn't a
there's
type
fire-
of damage
there-
in the
there's
thing.
divine
but-
fire, ice, or lightning. I feel like it could be kind of between divine and fire, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with fire.
Nice.
Fire. Okay. It seems to fully take effect.
Excellent, beautiful, perfect choice.
All right,
Yeah.
Tony.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have empowered last turn. Can I use twinned this turn?
This is your turn.
Well, I understand, but the last turn I used empowered. Can I twin an already empowered
No.
spell? I can only
No, you
do
can't.
one
You
or
can't
the
stack
other.
them. Yeah.
So I can't just empower while everybody fights, and then all of a sudden fire off to
Yeah,
mega,
you can't Kamehameha.
mega blast. Okay, that's fine. Then I just shoot my empowered spell at my dude.
All right.
Here. That's a -1.
That hits.
Do some monsters have negative numbers?
Of hit dice?
Yeah,
They can
they can
at
okay.
higher levels, but we're.
I was just curious. That
Yeah.
was literally just so I'm gonna add my mind to that. So that's 4 damage.
Okay. All right. We've got Scar and Thad. What do y'all as these spells come flinging by? The little one's still dangling there, pacified.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and shoot off a lightning bolt. I think
right.
that's medium. It's gonna roll. That's going to be a 4. I don't think that's gonna do it.
4 misses. So you shoot out this lightning bolt, and with its staff, it seems to like catch it in midair, spin around, and fling that lightning bolt back at you. So this will be lightning damage coming your way.
Watch out!
Perfect.
Hey, it's not like you're wearing a Faraday cage. Don't worry.
That's true. Yeah.
3. 9 points of damage.
That's gonna take me out.
Okay.
Fuck yes.
Is that at 0 or negative?
Negative. For
Negative.
Sure.
Okay. So what happens is you have a resilience score, which is based on your vigor. Your resilience now drops by 1.
Okay.
That represents how many times in a dungeon level you can go down before you're dead.
Not to compare to other popular games, but kind of like how wounds work in Mothership.
So if someone gives you any healing, you can pop back up and keep fighting. If you dropped again in this encounter, your resilience would go down by 1 again. But at the end of this encounter, you'll pop back up at 1 vitality and can continue going throughout the dungeon.
But right now, currently, I'm a burnt crisp.
Yeah, just
Sick.
lightning burns straight through you. All right. Who's next? I believe it's Scar. I think you are muted.
Let's go ahead, and I'm going to try that 2-handed hammer swing again. Or I guess it wasn't 2-handed last time, technically. So it's still going to be D6. It's 4 minus the 3 for my aptitude. That's going to be a 1 to hit.
1 hits.
All right, and that's going to be, when I roll damage, it's going to be another 3. So it's going to be 8 again.
8 points of damage.
Yeah, 5 plus 3.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I love it. This thing catches this lightning bolt, sends it back, and Scar, describe to us how you put this thing down.
She's actually gonna wind up and like underhand this massive hammer and try to catch it like in the solar plexus region. And just follow through as much as possible to try to like lift him up off the ground a little bit and have him crumple.
Oh, yeah. You all hear everything cracking and breaking on the inside. Two spines as this thing falls back, dropping.
Can I alley-oop it?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, it's already dead, so
Yeah.
as it's kind of like flopping down, I'm gonna like high five Scar and then run up and just like swing at it with my crow's beak, the blunt side of it, and see if I can smack it like a baseball into the organ.
All right, just go ahead and give me a melee aptitude. Why
not? 3 on 3. Or sorry, 0. It would be 0.
Oh, 0. Yeah. You smash the thing over. Slams into the organ. Y'all hear.
How's that little guy doing?
Yeah, how's the funky little dude?
Oh, little funky dude's got caught in that massive attack from Scar. It was a twofer. Put 2 notches on the belt there.
Some of us have twin attacks. Some of us just hit people so hard our hammer rips through them into the person attached to their back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you are in the. You all hear this. The organ like reverberates.
Kobe. And then we all in unison do the hashtag above our heads.
Hashtag lights up. There is basically a motif, like relief in the wall above the organ. That thing lights up. And heads back to the central room where you hear a crash.
Someone should grab that staff in the leg. By someone, I mean Thrag.
I mean, I already have it.
All right. Excellent.
All right.
I can't stash it in my loincloth.
It's pretty easy to carry with my ring focuses. So,
and you guys search real quick, like, oh, there's some gemstones that were laid into the thing's cloak that you all pull out and get some more gold, and you get another 18 gold worth of stuff.
Sweet. Here's an important question. What happens if we zero out on sway? Anything?
No, you just can't sway anymore.
Okay, cool.
You'll get your sway points back after you go back to town, rest up, come back.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, great.
Let's go sway this corpse.
So we go back to the main room. Is everything lit up now? And is it
everything's lit up? There is a beacon of light from the ceiling down to that sarcophagus, and the glass has been shattered.
Cool.
Sweet.
And the corpse still seems to be laying there, missing one leg.
One of 2, I presume.
One of 2, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody want to put this back on?
Yeah, I'll put the leg back on.
All right.
I dipped it in some of the old glue.
I was gonna use Bloodburn to see if I could weld his leg back on.
You glue the leg back on, like a friggin' Warhammer mini. And it does not move. The corpse. After you
Do we
put that.
give him his staff, or do we think that's going to be dangerous?
I mean, it's not going to be dangerous. I look at this staff.
It is a, this ancient copper patinaed staff. It's just straight, but it is like octagonal, except for where it has one handle, which is rounded off and corded. The cording is some type of leather. You're not quite certain what that cording is. And at the top is a sphere that seems to have something swirling on the inside of it.
Before we do that, I go stick the staff in the chain on the door, and I spin it the other way.
Okay, you unleash the chains come up and the door hits again.
And the glue
and I kick it open. I kick
it open. Okay. You
I don't
see,
have
like,
I don't have any more spell slots to burn on a thundercrack or anything fun, but I kick it open.
you still have a thundercrack.
Oh, that's true. So I can use I'm
yeah.
not limited in the amount of times I can use anything. Just
Yeah.
what I
Right.
can carry in. That's right.
Yeah.
I keep on thinking about it in the other way.
okay.
I absolutely thundercrack, but not loud enough to cause any sort of effect. Just for impressive realities.
Okay.
And then I say to the all the red grinning hyenas out there, what has taken you so long to get here? And I'm just gonna go ahead and bid all the rest of my sway. I'm gonna put 6 sway out there, to just convince this group of red-mouthed idiots that we have been waiting on them.
I want to go in with this too, because you know what, fuck it, we're almost done, so I'm like, why not fucking have fun with it? I'm gonna just be laughing like they're fools and they're just like idiots, and just give 6 of my sway to this as well.
Oh my gosh. All right.
In fact, I'm gonna take some of the blood from my crow's beak and actually put it on my face like I'm one of them.
They all like are about to charge in, and there's the door was locked. We couldn't get in.
Did you even try?
Of course we tried.
It doesn't appear so. You've been standing at the door knocking for 2 hours at this point.
What's going on? Have you discovered what this place is about?
Oh yeah, worm goals.
Hashtag worm goals.
They'll start to walk in and start to like sniff around the place.
Yeah, we were about to get some worm goals. You ready?
Worm goals? What's a worm goal?
It's
a way of life.
Yeah, indeed.
It's kind of a movement.
Yeah. Once you start with the worm goals, you just try and get everyone involved.
They're very clearly confused.
It's like it's not a down line, and it's definitely not a pyramid scheme.
Right.
But when you do better, we do better.
Right.
More like an MLM.
You know how
yeah.
You know when a pyramid is top down? We're more bottom up.
Very weird dungeon indeed.
One of them starts like it's just clearly like, okay, I don't know what's happening here, and it's starting to make its way to the sarcophagus to see like, start to investigate what's going on.
I just push it over the edge with the staff into the sarcophagus.
Do what?
When it's leaning over to sniff in, I just push it from behind into the sarcophagus and see what happens.
You push it into the skeleton?
Yeah, just to see what happens.
Okay. You push this thing in, and the skeletal arms wrap around this creature, begin to consume it, and it's like this. You've ever seen video of maggots consuming a animal in the woods from the inside out, kind of a thing?
Time lapse.
It's that, but in real time.
Oh, so it's like the guy drinking from the gold chalice in Indiana Jones. Yeah.
But the skeletal creature fills out.
Did y'all see that? Come closer.
Oh my goodness, your friend just jumped in there.
it rises up. And you all now fully understand. It's speaking a foreign language, ancient language, but you all fully understand. I have risen. I am once again whole, and I will once again rule this world. And it goes like this. Everything in the room turns inside out as you all feel yourselves being pulled in various directions.
Is it prolapsing or relapsing at this point? That's the question.
And I want somebody to...
Did the other guy get unprolapsed now?
I'm back. And I'm going to do level 2. 11. As you are all transported to the Giant's Lift, level 2. And I think that's where we will call it. It's 7:23. I think that's a good place where you would all get teleported to the second level.
Do I still have this staff with me?
Yes, and that will be your treasure, your magical treasure, because upon defeating the boss, everybody gets a piece of treasure. And let's roll on that treasure table, magic items table. Everybody gets a magic item at the end of this. So we'll start with Quintius 63. A tiny tent, a 3-person tent that takes up 1 slot would be the magical item that you would find.
Nice.
Scar 54. A holy symbol that adds divine damage to weapons. So basically you would attach that to your weapon, and now it always deals both the bludgeoning and the divine damage. And finally, Thad. We already rolled that one, so we'll do that one. Mantle of Strength. Ultra weapon slots are reduced by 1 and cause +1 damage.
Nice.
So if you get an ultra weapon, that would do that.
We love a +1.
Yeah. So basically that's a way. So what the magic items are the way to really start really boosting your character's stats and what they can do, and really start to changing things.
Yeah, that 3-person tent's going to come in handy in combat.
Hey, you know what? You just
No, I am an item.
small room. You just, you insta pop that tent, slamming everybody into the walls.
Exactly.
Let's do our reaction roll. Reaction roll is a live stream inside of a live stream. It's our chance to sit down with the creator of a game that we just played and talk about what it was like to play that game. We just got to experience a taste, a sousson little sampling of WYRD Dungeon. Where even though I just made a bunch of like eating noises, my character didn't actually put anything in their mouth. WYRD Dungeon is live right now over on Kickstarter. You can go to ttrpg.link/WYRDDungeonGame to check out more of that. That link's in the description. And Gorgor will probably toss it in the chat in just 1 second also too. But why don't you, Jeff, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, but most importantly, tell us about what WYRD Dungeon is all about.
Yeah. So Jeffery N. Baker, lead designer of Happy Jack Games, Jack with just a K. And again, WYRD Dungeon was just a way to essentially do a prepless, procedurally generated, even though it's not really randomly generated dungeon, to give game masters and players the tools necessary to just create a dungeon on the fly. So if you've watched this whole thing, you basically watched, and this dungeon was built just now. I didn't do any prep ahead of time. It was all just me pulling crap from Miyazaki and throwing it at y'all. But yeah, you're just kind of coming up with things, and because that's what I really enjoy about TTRPGs is taking what the players do. So for instance, the hashtag thing was something y'all said as a joke, and I was like, nope, that's it. That's going to be the main puzzle for this. Is this hashtag thing.
I love that.
And to me, that's what makes games so awesome, is listening to what y'all do and incorporate or say fun things and incorporating it into a game. Awesome. And that's just kind of WYRD Dungeon in a nutshell. You don't have to even use the game mechanics if you don't want to. If you have another system that you want to run this with, all the tables are system agnostic. They are prompts. There's no mechanics in the tables themselves, other than the magic table list at the back. But then again, you can just look at the name of it and kind of what it does, and you can easily fit it into whatever game that you have.
Well, I had a great time playing. Let's hear what some of our other players thought. Also, if you're watching live right now or later and you have a question about the system, the generation, any of the things like that, go ahead and drop it in the chat. We'll get an answer for you now or later. But let's meet our players and hear a little bit more about it. The foremost battle jacket vest model on our TTRPG battle jacket model and creator of the hashtag beggar talk. Irene, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, where they can find you online, and what it was like to play WYRD Dungeon?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Irene. I'm a Space Job on TikTok. I did make Beggar Talk. I also work for Steve Jackson Games doing marketing, and I run the Steve Jackson Games TikTok. And I've got some games coming soon, but nothing I can talk about just yet.
I'm going to tell everybody.
Yeah, I've been really hoping to get to play WYRD Dungeon for a while. Jeff and I don't live that far from each other, and it's yeah, I've been really hoping to get into it. I really liked the faction rules. That definitely, like, this faction table's got some cool names in it, but also it really seeded my imagination right off the bat to know that the other stuff could be happening and to be thinking about oh, well, who are we going to run into? That was fun.
Awesome. Do you have any questions that you want to ask Jeffrey?
Maybe somebody else can talk. We'll see.
Awesome. I am going to kick things over next to Ray. Ray, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and what it was like to play WYRD Dungeon?
Yeah, I'm Ray. I'm a game designer and streamer here on Twitch. It was pretty fun. I really like the rules light kind of system going on. The just using 1 or 2 die basically is nice and easy. I really like what you have going on with the spells, and basically just what you bring in is what you have is really cool. And the the loadout being your gear, but also the treasure you're trying to carry out is really cool.
Awesome. Any questions that you have?
Not at the moment.
It's also okay. If y'all think of any, feel free to toss them out. Rat Girl Games wants to know why they were modded. It's because you typed the word douche into chat. Apparently, that's a term that I have to approve. But that has less to do with the game, more to do with the stream. Let's go up to the creator of the WYRD framework themselves. Kirby, why don't you tell people who you are, what you do, and what it was like to play WYRD Dungeon?
Hi, I'm Kirby. They, them pronouns. I am the lead writer, only writer at Disaster Tourism. We have a bunch of stuff on the internet and also coming out soon, very soon. I wrote WYRD last year. I almost said I wrote WYRD Dungeon. I wrote WYRD last year. And it's 3.5 pages maybe. Super minimal RPG framework to just fool around with. And it was a challenge for me to see this basically and this is so cool. When I wrote it, it was just a fun little exercise. And then I ran this jam for people to do stuff with, and Jeffrey started this, but then ended up doing the color
of everything.
Color of everything. Yeah, right. You ended up submitting that, which was also a very cool game. But then when you told me you were working on this, I was like, fuck, this is awesome. I love this idea of just having everything just right there at the table, happening at the table, I'm not one way or the other with prep or no prep, but being able to run a full dungeon crawl with no prep is really awesome. And in this style, you can totally do a PBTA or a narrative focused dungeon crawl if you wanted to with those kinds of rules. But this is a different style of play, really, and being able to do that with no prep is just super cool. I'm fucking impressed. I love that you were able to do this with the little bullshit that I printed last year. Like, I just think that's so cool that you were able to do this. So I love it. And also Quintinus Curus Julius Palindrome the Elected will be returning at some point, I'm sure.
It's like all of your characters lately with super long names. You're like, they will be back.
And they never are.
Maybe one day, who knows? Rat Girl says, I wish I had questions, but I'm just angry at how cool this whole thing is, and you lot are, which is very, very nice. I had a great time. I really enjoyed playing. People who are regulars on our stream probably know that we love narrative forward dungeon crawl games. Like our house system, Down We Go, has a ton of narrative tech built into it. And this, like, again, from the first time I saw it, I think the WYRD framework actually has a lot more appeal in a lot of ways to old school gamers than Down We Go does. Down We Go, I mean, uses some of the same kind of core mechanics and concepts built in, but I think the WYRD system feels a little bit more old school. And I think what you did with some of the derived stats and stuff, give it that little bit of extra heft and crunch that really kind of make that pop and fly out. But yeah, I love the system agnostic nature of it. I would 100% run a Down We Go Mega Dungeon using this as well, and just kind of layering those pieces of narrative tech, because it's designed to do like, hey, ask people questions, build weird stuff in, do collaborative world building together. I love the GM full concept. There is a bad version of a conversation happening over in the I'm begging you to play another RPG Facebook group right now about why there aren't Irene knows exactly what I'm talking about already.
I'm on that group, so
I know you do. About why there aren't more GM-less games, and that's a great question, though. It may show that people aren't looking at a lot of the GM-less games that are out there. But the comment sections are a dumpster fire.
I was looking for it. I couldn't find it.
I'll link it to you later. Of bad text. Bad takes that different people have, as well as good information and helpful stuff. Like, it's a Facebook group. What are you going to do? Every form of social media is toxic and trash, and you either choose to engage in it or you don't. But even with that thing, I love egalitarian play things. I love things that deconstruct the role of the GM. It also frees the GM up to do really cool things like what we were getting to watch you do, like investing in the voices and the characterizations and tracking what the world is doing, and worrying less about what are the concrete mechanics that actually make all this stuff happen. And I think we all talk about the role-playing sessions where mechanics don't come up and we are just freed to do the stuff. And systems like WYRD Dungeon and the WYRD Dungeon generation really embrace that mindset where there are the underpinning mechanics, but you want to basically be able to set yourself free of them. And once we got used to how the spell aptitude and the melee aptitude worked, which I think was the only hiccup in our actual play of it. It just sings really, really easily, and it's super easy to be like, roll a d6 and roll under that number. And so I had a great experience playing, had a really good time.
I also think that I just want to say something else too, because I'm annoying. But like I love this too, because it's like a system agnostic supplement book, but also it's a full system with all the supplemental stuff as part of that system too. I think so. Like, if you don't ever want to play WYRD Dungeon, you can still buy this book and it can be extremely beneficial to your table. Right. Like, I think it's so cool.
And that was definitely one of our goals, is to, really when I learned about D66 lists, I was like, these are amazing. I can do so much with these. And the reason actually why there's 2 theme tables is because I misunderstood how a D66 list works. And I came up with 72 entries. And then went, oh, wait, did double the work. Whatever.
It is. No one actually understands how D66 tables work. We all just figure it out new.
I rolled a
17 on a D66 table. It was asked in chat and discussed, but I am going to bring it up. Somebody wanted to know whether the crow's head was an item or flavor on top. I moved things around so we could get a good glow in the dark look at Irene's jacket in a second on stream. Give me just 1 second while I move stuff around a little bit more so that I just want to show people the PDF real quick, because it is the simplicity of the way that things are written is super sharp. And those are two different overlays, so I can show those off separately. But Irene, just so you know, that plan is coming in just a second. So
got my UV torch. We can make this work.
yeah. So like here is the weapons section in the game. Like, I mean, there's the different types of weapons up here. Weapon types: melee, ranged, magic. So we saw a few different types of melee working. We saw some of the different types of attack options you have when you're using a melee weapon. Some of them can do two-handed, some of them can do light, some of them can do heavy. Ranged attacks can do aim. We didn't do any ranged like other than magic. Aimed attack, lightning attack. Magic can empower or twin. We talked about both of those. But the actual types of weapons and the type of damage they do, the amount of load they take, is just these 4 entries right here. And you had chosen an ultra weapon, right, Kirby? And then that was the crow's head. Like, it was just a giant crow's head that you could hit things with. So you just picked what it was. Why the crow's head, Kirby? What is deep in your psyche that made that call out?
And that was because I just really crow's beak is a real weapon. It is a French polearm, I believe. It's nicknamed the crow's beak. And I just really was like, I just wanted something really, really, really big and obnoxious. Like, I wanted to be a Dark Souls character. After I realized that I could only wear a linen cloak, I realized that was just what it was going to be. So.
I mean, you could have worn plate armor.
I could have if I wanted to, but then I would be, I would be,
And I imagine narratively you can wear whatever you want, but you only can pick one that is your thing.
But I really like the loincloth and the small cloak. I thought that was kind of
yeah. And so this is the armor table. These are the different types of armor: linen cloak, leather tunic, chain, plate mail, shield. But you decide what those things look like. Magic is just these entries. They're either heal, do utility, do small, do medium, do large. You can they have slots that they take up. There's a heavy emphasis on like the inventory management reality that comes into a lot of these things and what it takes up in all your gear. We were rolling on a list of really cool spells. That's a D66 table in the back to generate some of our stuff. But like, I don't know that there was a glue spell, but glue is a classic utility spell that I was just like, I cast glue, right? That's the thing I do. And that's one of my slots now. So really cool kind of build out for very minimal things. You choose what it looks like, what it is, and what it does, and then we're just going to go from there. And so, like I said, I think just a really sharp, smart way to make that work. And so, I really enjoyed it. D66 or 72. D66 tables have 36 entries because it's 6 times 6 for 36. But
for Tony Vicinda, they have 37.
They have because you can roll a 17. And so, but only a 17. You can't roll a 27. With that said, before we end the stream, we do want to give a little bit of time over for Irene's battle jacket for the full UV effect of the glow in the dark thread.
Let's see how the webcam picks up on this. So all of the thread that I have stitched things on with, as well as the thread that's constructing it, is blacklight reactive. So all of the stitching.
Yeah, I think when you do the spider webs on the lapels, it shows up pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
there we go.
Yeah.
And I did those.
So
yeah,
awesome. Anyways, now that we finished that thing, I guess I should wear my battle vest on stream more often. Because apparently people don't know that that's a thing. It's how I get into character. It's how I step into play mode.
It was just branding.
Do you have Aqua's Barbie Girl as the outro music? For
I
the
wish
stream?
we're still trying to get that band. Aqua something. That the name of that band to sponsor us. We do have +1. It is a +1 branded battle jacket. It's got the pizza logo on the back. Well, if you have $200, I will make you one because they are expensive as all get out to make, and they take It's 4 hours of embroidery time to make that. On the back. I'll wear it next time. I'll show mine off on the next stream. With that said, I am much cooler without Keegan bullying me. Keegan's a cop. With that said, we've got a bunch of great streams this weekend by cops and other people. Now, by Keegan and some great cult stuff happening this weekend. Tomorrow, we've got Viva La Queer Bar that's happening right now. It's live over on Kickstarter right now. Also, too, that Keegan is going to be running with the creator of that game. We also have You're in Space and Everything's Fucked coming up. We've got a 2-part stream we're doing for that over the next couple of weeks. You'll see a lot of support for You're in Space and Everything's Fucked because we are really excited about that game. We love the work that Dino Berry Press does. We're also helping them run marketing for it. So you will see a lot of support from us over the course of the next month on that project. But we've got Nevin on for a character study. We've got a 2-part of the actual system. It's a great 2+ player RPG where one person takes the role of a station and the other people take the role of this people struggling to survive on it, very much in the vein of Dead Space. So if any of that sounds good to you, come on back, check all those great games out over the course of this week and the next. But before you do that, head over to ttrpg.link/WYRDDungeonGame. It's going to take you over to Kickstarter. You can check out this project and more. We really appreciate Jeremy reaching out about doing the stream. I'll have a short review video with more of my thoughts coming out in the middle of next. I did it. I said I was going to do it at the very beginning. Their initiative of Jeffrey N. Baker and all their support of the stream. But I called shot it. I almost made it through the entire stream without doing it, but I was like, I will call you, Jeremy.
This is actually the second time you've done it.
Is it? Dang it.
Oh my god.
I just didn't call you out. I was like, it's fine.
Now in the end, but I knew I would do it. And that's the important thing. I prepped us for it happening. You come on stream sometime if you're a game designer, and I'm happily call you by the wrong name. Also, too, we don't have a good way to end streams, and at this point, we're not interested in trying to figure one out. So all of us are just going to wave at the camera until I take us off air. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We're clear. I mean, I wasn't. Everybody just heard me say that, and they can hear me saying this right now also, too. I wish people could have heard what you said because that was hilarious, but they can still only hear me talking because I haven't muted myself even still at this point. They just hear me talking about it. They'll never know how funny that joke was. That's it.